this with Burmis and then get to your calls. It has come out with top virologists in England, the United States, Canada, Australia. We got 2 articles, one up at Infowars.com, one at PrisonPlanet.com. Just recapping this and then the new breaking news in a moment. It has come out. It has come out that Tamiflu developer says swine flu may have been released from a lab. And then there's another article dealing with that. And so the point is H1N1 virus manufactured or result of human error. They're saying clearly it has the markers. It has no pedigree. It wasn't mutated naturally because they can track these viruses. It just came out of the blue, wrong flu season, wrong hemisphere, which is also why I say it didn't escape from some lab. This thing had to be spread. So this is only a whitewash one level, but we're proven right again. Will we see retractions from CNN and others that attacked us? No. But now we know why they're mainly taking down the swine flu videos I did that are on YouTube, suspending the accounts of the videos everywhere. It's me. I'm allowed to get on TV and talk. I'm telling people they can post it, but YouTube says no. They don't even do copyright infringements now. They just take your channel down. Happened to Nate Evans, happened to all the people I know. This is a badge of honor, I think. And Burmis, you kept saying they were going to get rid of Google videos. We'll talk about that in a moment. But right now, briefly, I remember this in the extras of Oliver Stone's JFK because a new director's edition came out a few years ago, and I watched it on the treadmill. That's how I watch movies, is in like a 2-part series, an hour on the treadmill and then another hour on the treadmill the next day. And I remember them talking about how a type of flu, a type of fever, swine fever, had been released in Cuba. And then it came out years later in the mainstream news, and that's declassified. And I'd forgotten. You got an email, got a tip, pulled up the San Francisco Chronicle article. It's confirmed. So 76, it pops up on a military base. 1918, it comes out of a U.S. military base. This new one created in the lab. No doubt about that now. And who's used this stuff before? The CIA and against Latin America. These guys never stop. I mean, every time there's a terror attack, we don't just say it's the government or our government or some other Western government. We go look at the history. We go look at who's done it before. It's like if some guy robs a bank and does it a certain way, and the files show that a bank robber was released a year ago in the same area who robs banks, 20 years before, the same way, I'm going to go looking for him. I mean, and they have the motive, and they have the know-how. Burmis, give us the latest development.
Yeah, so in 1971, the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency officials, operatives linked to anti-Castro terrorists, introduced African swine fever virus into Cuba, and they had to slaughter 500,000 pigs. Now, the only difference between this and the swine flu is that it cannot be transmitted to humans. But this was actually broken by Newsday, which is a big paper out of New York. I use it all the time. A lot of those hard articles in my film Fabled Enemies are cut directly out of there. And I just...
This was a bio attack on the farming industry. This was an economic attack.
Yeah.
And a big part of declassified warfare with the Russians and the U.S., basically run by the same people now we discover in the past, is crops, is insects, is engineered insects. That they drop insects out of a plane that don't just eat your crops, and they've done this before, but carry a virus or bacteria that kills your crops.
Yeah, and affects the wildlife around them as well. What's really interesting is there's 4 different CIA officials speaking on record here. They won't give their names, but it runs through places like Fort Gulick, an Army base near Panama Canal Zone. Of course, the U.S. Navy base at Guantanamo was used to traffic this. And then the final place, I think it was right here, the source of the traveler, who had been trained by the CIA and carried out previous missions for the agency, said he saw no CIA officials aboard the boat that delivered the virus to the trawler in Panama, but added, "We were well paid for this, and Cuban exile groups don't have that kind of money." His account was confirmed by another intelligence source in Miami. It goes on to talk about Venezuela. But basically, again, 1971, Jones, almost 40 years ago, they're releasing a similar bioweapon in a third world nation they're having problems with. And then we have this swine flu just totally emerge. First they blame Mexico. Then they don't have any pigs that have it in Mexico. What was it, 2 weeks ago now, they said, oh, we finally found the first pig with swine flu, and it was in Canada. And then you have this witch for the CFR who did that swine flu, the Fear and Flu article right there. And she's saying, it's right over there, Jones, if you're looking for it. It's right under that top magazine right there. You see it, the black one? Newspaper.
Oh, yeah, the little piggy snout.
Yeah, the little piggy snout.
Your favorite photo.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's saying that the swine flu wasn't made in a lab, and if you believe that, by the way, Jones, you're a conspiracy theorist and a bad person, but it was founded in America, and then she attacks Lou Dobbs. There hasn't been a single case of swine flu in a pig in America, and that woman who died, that 33-year-old woman, the Texas health officials admit she didn't die from swine flu. That child who died, he had chronic illnesses. He was a premature.
No, she was sick. She was already dying.
Yeah.
All right, key information. Let's get a blurb by Kurt Nimmo or Paul Watson or Steve Watson or you or somebody. TheInfoWarrior.com. You'll go ahead and just get that posted, at least the old San Francisco Chronicle article. Mm-hmm. Jason, thanks for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, coming up in about 5, 6, 7 minutes, I'm going to have Rob Dew in here because he worked on one of these new presentations, these new films we're going to be releasing today. So I'll be announcing that coming up here in a few minutes. We are now 3 hours, 41 minutes into the transmission, and I want to thank a few of the sponsors we've got that have made this show possible. Then I'm going to go to your calls. One of them's Home Gain. Wonderful folks, HOMEGAIN.com. Home Gain, as in gaining, .com. HomeGain.com. They have a street view system for helping see. Okay, let's jam in a few phone calls, and I'm going to bring Rob Dew in here. In fact, Rob, you can go ahead and come on in here. Let's go ahead now and get to more of these calls, and I'll also do that in the final segment. Let's talk to Thomas in California. Thomas, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hi, Alex. Greetings from the sunny Central California coast.
Greetings.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you hear a lot of people talking about, well, no one's out there doing anything, no one's out there fighting, and, we should just either give up or we should go and shoot everybody because we're not having any victories. And it seems to me that, you may not see it on the news media because that's the last thing you're going to see.
You stole my thunder. They never tell you have any chance to beat them. They want to destroy our morals and come out and go, yeah, we're criminals. Yeah, we stole $14 trillion. I won't tell you where it is. They want to make you capitulate.
As soon as you find an issue and you decide to enter that fight, you will find people coming out of the woodworks trying to help you. You will find so many groups on that issue all fighting it, all having so many victories here, so many victories there in their own little ways. But, of course, the news doesn't cover it. And, look at where we'd be if after the Iraq war people didn't take to the streets by the millions. We already would have invaded Iran. We would have already invaded Syria.
Exactly. So look, Tokyo Rose would tell the GIs, even when Japan was defeated, they'd broadcast on the radio, America's defeated, you've lost, you can't win, it's all over for you. And some GIs, even though they knew that Japan was blown to bits and about to be physically invaded, this is weeks before Hiroshima and Nagasaki, some GIs actually believed it. It's the same thing. They tell you, there's no hope, there's no way to beat us, there's nothing you can do. Baloney. I appreciate your call. I may even go into overdrive today because I want to get to Steve, Charles, Tony, John, and others, and we'll try to cram you in. I got 2 trailers to play, and I'm almost out of time to do this. Number one, because this is a bigger announcement because we're going to have one of these every month. But the next announcement's even bigger individually. It is The Alex Jones Show, Another Weapon in the Fight for Freedom DVD Arsenal, The Alex Jones Show, Volume 1, January 2009. And every week or two, a new one up to catching up to 6 months in will be out. And by the end of the year, we're going to have 12 of these, and you can get them all together. $14.95. It's up on Infowars.com. This is featuring David Icke, Joe Rogan, Alan Watt, Gerald Celente, Art Acevedo, and these videos are all in super high quality. These are printed DVDs. These have documents, extras, stuff added. This is for people that don't just want to see it in prisonplanet.tv, because I upload my film in super high quality. But the live stream, so people can stream it live and pick it up, it's only medium quality. This is high quality. Seeing it is the difference between night and day. It's great to give people. Folks kept asking for these. This is now manufactured. This came in earlier in the week, it came in Monday. And so we have these in. The next film is going to be in here in a week, but it won't ship till June 3rd. And that's a totally separate film. So, now again, this is really a presentation. The film, I'll tell you about in the next segment. But this is a big announcement. Great way. You can see David Icke there on the cover. This is the first month, and it's the David Icke, Joe Rogan, Alan Watt, Gerald Celente, Art Acevedo, that's the Austin Police Chief. This is really power-packed. Rob Dew and Jason Douglas have been working on these. Tell folks about the new DVD arsenal.
This has been really a treat. And basically when you hired me, you said, look, I need you to